Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's Word on Wednesday. Tonight we're talking all about cups. Well, just one cup, your cup, and not your literal cup either. In the Bible, a cup is often used to represent and talk about someone's life. So let's dive in, and we're going to read Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right path for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. We see there in verse 5, David talks about a cup. He says, my cup overflows. He's not talking about a literal cup. It's a phrase he's using to explain that God has given him more than he needs. When we hear that, we might think that it refers to material things, and sometimes that is right. And that might happen, but not always. For me personally, this has been an incredibly difficult year, and there have been many times where I have felt my cup has been half empty, much like this cup here. I've had some really difficult days. I've had days where I've struggled to get out of bed. I've had days where my brain has just been a really unkind place to be. And just overall, I've had some pretty rubbish days. But even still, even on those days, I have felt my cup overflow. I've not suddenly inherited loads of money. I've not suddenly got a new wardrobe full of new clothes or a new flashy car. Because our cup doesn't always overflow with material things. But I have amazing friends. I have an amazing community of people who love me around me. And in the midst of some of my darkest nights, I have felt a bizarre peace and sense of comfort, knowing that God is with me in those moments. I want to give you a quick disclaimer. I don't want you to think it sounds easy. I don't want you to think that this has been every time, because there are certainly times I felt horribly alone and not felt that peace. But it's often when I have forgotten to invite God into that situation. It's so important to know that we are not alone, whatever we're facing. And as we read in verse 4, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So my cup did at times feel empty. But then look what happens when we invite God into that space. Oh dear. My cup overflows. That's why it's so important to invite God into that space. And whatever you're facing, I really want to encourage you to invite him into that situation, into that space. Let him minister to you. I really hope you have a great week, guys, and we'll see you next time. Take care.